Hey crochet besties, I just came across a stitch that has my hook flying. It's a riff on a classic that is perfect for lightweight tops, blankets, and baby items. It's my take on the V-stitch. Slightly denser than the original V-stitch, this version has a sneaky modification that makes projects a breeze. Hi, I'm Tony of TL Yarn Crafts, and if you're ready to add this brilliant little stitch to your crochet bag of tricks, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for plenty more crochet tutorials, reviews, and inspiration. Now, let's get to it. This video is one of many helpful tutorials to accompany the Crochet Amour Sampler, a beautiful 20-block Afghan that teaches new crochet stitches and techniques with every square. To get the row-by-row instructions for this square and find out how to make the entire sampler blanket, visit the link in the description. We're going to start our V-stitch with a base of foundation single crochets. I prefer this method because it's a little bit more stretchy and easy to work into, and we'll need to make a foundation single crochet that is a multiple of 3 plus 2. Now, if you prefer to just make regular old chains, you'll make a multiple of 3 chains and then single crochet in the second chain from the hook and each chain across. But I am going with foundation single crochets, so you can do those with me. We're going to start with a slip knot on our hook and chain 2. We're going to find that first chain that we made, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through another loop, then yarn over and pull through 2. Now that loop that we pulled up right here, that's a chain. We'll need to go into that chain, grabbing 2 loops right there at the top, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1. Make sure you keep that nice and loose, pull that loop up high because that'll be the chain for the next stitch we made. Then yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. Insert into the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, and then 2. Insert, yarn over, pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through 1, and 2. And we'll repeat that again until we have a multiple of 3 plus 2. That's the length that we want for the base of our stitches. I'm going to continue making my foundation. Meet me here when you're done, and we're going to jump into that V-stitch. Once you finish your foundation stitches, they'll look a bit like this, and you can see they're nice and stretchy and flexible. So if you're somebody who has trouble working into your starting chain, making your chain too tight, or your chain kind of tightens in at the bottom of your stitches, foundation stitches might be a good way to go. So now let's jump into our V-stitch. So we're going to begin with a chain 2 and turn our work. So these are the chains we just made. We're going to skip this stitch at the base of the chain and the following stitch, and we're going to work into this 3rd stitch right here. So to make our V-stitch, we're going to place a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert the hook, pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, followed by a chain 1 and another half double crochet into that same stitch, just like that. So it's half double, chain 1, half double into the same stitch. From here, we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, V-stitch in the following. Remember, that's half double, chain 1, half double, all into the same stitch. Skip 2, V in the next, half double, chain 1, half double again, skip 2, V in the next. And we're going to repeat that across the row. So let's do that together. V-stitch goes here, skip 2, V in the following, chain 1, another half double crochet in that same spot. And just notice that we don't put anything between the V-stitches. We just skip 2 stitches, V in the next. Almost at the end here, skip 2, V in the next. And we're going to do this until we have 1, 2 stitches left. We're going to skip that next stitch and place a half double crochet in this last stitch right here. This is not a stitch. This is just part of your slip knot. Okay. So that's what it looks like to start with. Not a whole lot to write home about, but let's add a bit more fabric. So we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and we're going to V-stitch in the chain 1 space of each of our V-stitches all the way across. So we're skipping this stitch here at the base of the chain, going straight into this chain space and placing a V-stitch. Half double, chain 1, half double. Directly into the chain space of the next V. Half double, chain 1, half double. So this is like a stacked stitch, right? Where the stitches go right on top of the stitches of the previous row. Really simple once you kind of get that base established. Half double into the space, chain one, half double. Now, if you've worked a V-stitch before, you might be used to this being worked with a double crochet instead of half doubles. I like the half doubles because they create a tighter texture. I think it's just really pretty. Once we get to the end of the row, we're going to half double crochet in the second chain of that turning chain. So if we take a look, this is the loop of our stitch here. So that is the top of the turning chain. We can half double there, or if you're feeling lazy, you can also go down in this space, whichever you prefer. Both of them are going to make nice clean lines on the side of our work. So there's the end of row 2, and we're just repeating the same row all the way through. So let's do one more row together. Remember, we start with a chain 2. We're skipping this stitch altogether. We're going straight into the chain 1 space of our first V-stitch right here. Half double, chain 1, half double. Next chain space is here. Just make sure you're finding the spaces and not working into the stitch. We want to go into the space underneath that chain. Half double, chain 1, and another half double. And we just repeat that all the way across the row for these nice uniform stitches. One more set here. There it is. And remember that we finish off the row by placing a half double crochet in the second chain of our turning chain, or like I said, you can just go down into the space, whichever you prefer. So there's a look of it. I love that it creates these nice columns of stitches. So I'm going to continue and add a little bit more fabric onto my work, and then you can come back as well and we'll compare notes. I've got just a few more stitches to go on what will be the last row on my swatch. Man, with a stitch like this, I just wanted to keep going. I didn't even want to stop stitching on this because it's just so pretty. So what I like about this is while it does mimic a normal V-stitch, you can see that those shorter stitches make this more like a thicket of fabric than a really obvious V-stitch that you might be used to seeing. So I like that it's a little bit more closed, which makes it great for garments, or maybe you want to do a pillow, something that is not going to have all the laciness of a normal V-stitch, but you still get all of that lovely texture. And once you block this and it opens up a bit, it just has this really cool like geometric look to it. I don't know, it's just one of those stitches that it just does it for me, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial. If you had a good time, make sure you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel for even more tips and tutorials. I love crochet, and I hope that you love this as well, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye!